the volume nice and loud. Cause we are controlling transmission with dance beats and R&B. You're in the mix with Lil Drummer Girl. With your host, Dawn Marie.
Hey, and welcome. It's Dawn Marie Mutel here, and thanks for joining us today for another episode of The Little Drummer Girl. Today we have a really cool guest here. Rymo Moran is in the house. He's the drummer for the band Slightly Stoopid. For those of you who may not be familiar with the band, they're one of the best ska reggae bands out there with their melodic phrasing, amazing percussion and drums, horn section, and acoustic rhythm piano. Their energy is high octane times 1,000%. If you haven't seen them live, you must catch one of their shows. Their energy is contagious. Slightly Stoopid has been on the road touring for the past decade, and now they have their own local recording studio and rehearsal clubhouse near Ocean Beach, California, and they've also created their own record label, Stoopid Records, way back in 1999. So Ryan's on tour, and his time is limited, so let's get Ryan on the air. Hey, Ryan, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I know you are touring, and you've got gigs going on tonight, so thank you again for being here tonight. I know how busy you are. It really means a lot to me, and if you're ready to rock out, you ready to begin?
Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So one of my first questions I love to ask is, how old were you when you first started playing?
I got my first pair of sticks at about 9 years old. I just turned 40, so I guess, I've been playing a little over 30 years. Before that, I played piano a little bit and dabbled with trumpet and violin, and I enjoyed music, but just none of those instruments really grabbed me the way that the drums did. So
I hear. So was there something that actually inspired you to pick up a set of drumsticks?
Just had a friend that bought me a pair. I think it was like my 9th birthday or something like that, and he's a musician. I'm still friends with him today. He's a musician professor up in New York City, and I don't know. We'd been listening to all kinds of music, and it just seemed natural. We wanted to start a band, and so he got me some sticks, started beating on, cookie tins, and bought a pair of, old cymbals from a flea market, and that was it. That was the beginning of it all. Awesome.
So do you remember the first song you learned how to play?
Yeah. So one of the first tunes we learned was mostly Beatles tunes, really. We were playing like Back in the USSR and Let It Be and Yellow Submarine. Those were probably the first few tunes we learned, and then we started kind of doing some writing actually at a pretty young age.
Wow. So when you started playing live, how old were you?
Probably about 10 or 11.
Wow, that's young.
Yeah, we started playing in school lunch and things like that, and the talent show and things like that. Things got a little more serious through high school, and basically that kind of started the whole thing, yeah.
Is your family musical?
Not really, actually. Neither of my parents really played instruments. They listened to music. They liked listening to jazz, but they never really, they weren't musicians themselves, no.
Okay. But they supported you going into the music?
Absolutely, yeah. They were very supportive. They helped me get the drums over to my friends' houses for, rehearsals and band practice and all kinds of things. So, yeah, we were, I was fortunate that they were extremely supportive.
And that's amazing because, it's so important to have that support. Do you ever teach music?
What's that?
Do you ever teach music?
Yeah, so I've got a few private students in San Diego. I taught at an institute for underprivileged kids in San Diego as well for a couple of years. So, yeah, I've definitely done a handful of lessons over the years for sure.
Oh, that's phenomenal. I love that. I was at your show at the Vinoy Park here in St. Pete, and you guys rock. And I love your kit. Who did the artwork on your bass drum? It's really spectacular.
So we've got a friend of ours that's done a lot of art for us over the years. His name is Sean Logan. He goes by, his art name is Logan. He's done art for Slightly Stoopid and The Expendables and Revolution and a lot of bands in sort of this genre that we're in. And yeah, so he created the artwork. That's actually album artwork from our album that dropped last June called Meanwhile.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And,
I love that.
Yeah, so the picture is actually a pretty accurate summary of what our studio looks like in San Diego. So there's some, bikes and skateboards and musical instruments and cable everywhere and beer cans and surf stuff, and it's pretty cool. It's like a
That's very cool.
Man cave.
Are you from California?
I am, yeah. I was born in San Francisco and been in San Diego since 1994.
Sweet. I love it there. I almost moved there back in 96 myself, but I decided to stay in New York a little longer.
Thanks.
Do you do a lot of writing with the band now?
Yeah. The two principal writers are Miles and Kyle. They're the leaders of the band, but we all contribute in different ways. When we're in the studio, we help formulate tunes, but they do all the primary writing and really lyric writing and stuff like that. So there is some collaboration, but there's there's definitely a unity of sound based on that.
Do you still practice a lot before your shows, or do you just warm up a little bit before your shows?
I do. I try to get at least an hour in, at least, doing some kind of warm-up, stretching, and then, we usually sound check for a half hour to an hour every day, every show day. And then we're playing about 2 hours a night. So, yeah, most days I'm playing at least 3 to 4 hours.
Wow. That's pretty strenuous. I mean, that's a lot of time per day.
It is. Yeah.
How do you keep your energy going?
Coffee. Sometimes Advil helps. I've been having a little bit of issues with my back in the last couple of weeks. So I started going to a chiropractor, just, probably just because of playing and stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to stay fit when we're not touring, do a lot of exercise, run and surf and do triathlon and whatever, yoga and stuff. So yeah, there are a lot of little hobbies to kind of stay busy and try to stay fit.
I just had Ken K. Mary on the call the other day, and he used to play with Alice Cooper, and he had a bad back, and he was telling me, because I have a bad back as well, and when I play for long periods of time, I start to really feel it. He said that there's a throne called the Rock and Sock Motion Throne, and he said it saved his back. So I don't know if you want to check it out, but I know I'm going to get one just to see what that's about.
Is it kind of this loaded one that has like a shock absorber kind of thing too?
Yeah, and it actually moves a bit.
Yeah,
so he said it takes about a week to kind of get used to it, but he said now he can't live without it. So
interesting. I'll look into that.
Yeah. Do you ever get nervous before you go on stage?
I do. Yeah, I still do. For the smaller clubs or whatever in smaller venues, not really as much, but there's a big crowd out there and it's loud and maybe not as much nervousness out of fear. It's more just like I'm anticipating, the energy that's about to be expended and, kind of just mental prep. I'm about to go basically run a marathon. So kind of the anticipation for sure. I get that just about every night.
Do you do anything to kind of calm the jitters down or any practice?
Yeah, I usually just have a beer,
That's cool.
I don't drink a lot, but one beer right before we go on helps me kind of calm the nerves a bit. And then when we're up there, once we're up 1 or 2 songs in, I feel fine. Most of that nervousness kind of converts to out energy, in a good way.
Do you ever have any embarrassing moments on stage that you can remember that you're like, oh, shit?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, we've had some train wrecks. I've been doing it long enough. You're bound to have a couple here and there. But, we've definitely had some times where, the whole thing just imploded. I picked out it off the wrong tune, and the other guys are just like, what are you doing? Or things like that. But, I mean, fortunately, it doesn't happen too often. We've definitely had a few train wrecks where we're like, all right, yeah, we just blew it. Let's start it again. Or, that kind of stuff happens once in a while. You just kind of have to laugh and roll with it.
I love the way that Kyle lit up that huge spliff. I just thought,
oh, yeah.
Is that real?
Oh, yeah. That thing looked like a candle that night. I remember specifically you rolled this thing up. It looked like it literally looked like candle with a whip.
I felt like I was watching History of the World Part 2.
Yeah, it was over the top.
It was great. Your audience, they were so into it. They were just having such a great time. You guys are so high energy. It's really amazing. What was your first big break in the business?
See, I guess, I studied music in college, and when I moved to San Diego, I had these ideas that I was just going to get right into a working band, and I just, I wanted it, hungry. And so after a couple years of kind of trying, playing with different groups and not really getting out and gigging a whole lot, I met some guys that had this group that was working a lot in San Diego, and I got hired by them. I guess I was probably maybe 19 or 20 and started just gigging around town, and I ended up being with them for about 7 years, touring. We did a few national tours, lots of regional, Western region tours, and I was with them from 96 till 2003, and the band's called the B-Side Players out of San Diego. And then in 2003, things had kind of slowed down a little bit and plateaued. And, it was a big band. So there was 8 or 9, sometimes 10 guys in the van, pulling the trailer, just paying dues. And in 2003, Slightly Stoopid guys called and said, look, we have this tour. We're going to be on a tour bus. Do you have any interest in giving it a shot? And it's an 8-week tour. And I said, absolutely. I'd like to, give it a shot. And yeah, I've never really gone back. That was the middle of 2003.
Nice.
Those were kind of a couple big stepping stones that helped get me where I am now.
Do you, that's phenomenal. Do you happen to have any words of wisdom for those that are looking to break into the business?
Yeah. People say it's luck. I think it's more hard work and timing. If you're hungry enough and you're putting the time in and you're really shedding and getting your skills together to make you an asset to a group, then you're going to get hired. And then hopefully make the right choices once you're in that group to help keep your career moving forward. It's definitely easy to get frustrated because every musician has been at a point where they're wondering what they're doing and why they're doing doing this and they love music, but it's not going where they want it to go. And, a positive mental attitude will help, but also just really a strong work ethic. Just get your skills together, get comfortable on the drums, and learn as many styles as you want to try to play. If you just have one sort of niche, that's cool, but then you're kind of pigeonholing yourself. Whereas if you can cross over through different genres or things, you're going to have a lot more opportunity and a lot more doors open. So I would just encourage younger players to just create a well-rounded skill set. Learn how to play blues, learn how to play jazz, learn how to play Afro-Cuban and Latin and samba patterns, learn how to play reggae patterns and rock. And if you have sort of a broad enough spectrum of capability, someone's going to call you.
I agree. I really think it's so huge.
Mm-hmm. Especially as drummers, that's so key because it may be a little different for other instruments. If you're a good metal guitar player, it might not translate to jazz style or world style. But with drums, the beauty of it is you can kind of mold in. If you get hired by a certain type of artist, you can learn that style and make yourself valuable, and then you're going to get called back.
Yeah, and you'll create your own groove with it and make that. Actually, I think that would make the band a little bit more unique too, because you can change it up and add in some different influences in there.
Absolutely.
That's cool. So listen, are you ready for the 11-stroke roll rapid fire interview?
Let's do it.
Okay. Your favorite drum set? Your favorite drum set?
Probably the kit I'm on now. Pearl, Reference, Pure. I just love it. Sounds amazing.
It's a great setup. Your favorite drumstick?
Regal Tip, 5/8. Love them.
Nice. Your favorite food?
Thai food.
The least favorite thing to do?
Least favorite thing to do? Sit around. I can't.
Get bored easily?
Yeah.
Your favorite band? I know it's a tough one.
That is just, I'd have to go back to what got me playing drums in the first place. The great John Bonham, Led Zeppelin is probably my all-time favorite.
Awesome. Your favorite travel spot?
Oh, man, that's tough. I'm not going to lie. I love touring in the States. I mean, I love going overseas and stuff too, but I love being in the States. I'd have to just say just about anywhere in the States. So I love being here.
Awesome. Your favorite person to hang out with?
My wife and my
kids.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 girls.
Sweet. How old are they?
Almost 2 and a little over 3. We got Irish twins.
Oh, they're little babies still.
Yeah. My wife and I went back to back. Still kind of wondering why we did that, but no, we're blessed. We're super happy. Yeah.
And they'll get to grow up with each other because they're close in age, so that's really cool.
They get along great, which is it's a lot of fun.
That is awesome. Car or motorcycle?
Car.
Dine in or take out?
Dine in.
Your favorite tour?
Oh, man. I'd have to go back to one of the bigger ones, which was a tour we did with Snoop Dogg, Stephen Marley, Mickey Avalon, and us. That was probably one of my favorites. Crazy.
That must have been an interesting tour.
Oh, yeah. It was got blurry a lot. We just put it that way.
I actually used to license songs for Snoop Dogg when he first started out. Yeah, it's a trip. Your biggest pet peeve?
The biggest pet peeve, close talkers. People that come up and they don't, they're just all up in your personal space, especially like if you're at a gig, you got a fan or someone that's real excited, and they're just breathing on you. Yeah, that's my pet peeve.
Yeah, I hear you on that one.
It's like, give me 3 feet, man. Personal space here. Couple, 3 feet, 2-3 feet.
Exactly. As a New Yorker, it's one thing we could never find is its personal space.
Yeah,
especially if you get into an elevator, it was the worst. And I'm like, please, just step away.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you can't live without?
Good food and good beer and good coffee. All 3.
All right.
I need all those every day. I need at least one good meal, good strong cup of coffee, and a couple beers.
I love it. Well, Rymo, thank you so much. It looks like our time is just about up. I want to thank you again for being here, and I wish you a lot of luck with the rest of your tour. When does tour end?
So we're on week 10 right now. We've got one more week after this, so it's about 10 days we'll be home.
Oh, sweet. I bet you can't wait to get back home.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been it's been a great tour, but it's been a really long one. We've been on the road. Yeah, this is week 10, so everyone's kind of ready to move back to normal life,
How can our listeners stay in touch and keep up with you if they want to learn more or check out an album?
A few ways. So we have slightlystoopid.com as the band page. We've got, all kinds of content on YouTube, and we're all over Facebook and all that kind of stuff. I also have my own personal Instagram account. It's Rymo Stoopid. It's all one word. It's STOOPID. So it's Rymo STOOPID. That, I just take some photos out here on the road and throw them up there. And then, have some music available too. I did a solo record a few years back. It's all kind of drum and percussion oriented, and it's all original.
Oh, beautiful.
So
you check it out.
Available on iTunes too. So it's just search Rymo. There's actually a rapper named Rymo too, but I think you'll see which. You'll hear the difference, of course, if you click on the album. So
cool. I'll be sure to add the links to those in the show notes so that
awesome.
You can click on that. And so thank you again. And if when you get back to the Tampa area, please give me a shout. And if you have any new releases also, just let me know. And I'd love to keep the people in the know.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
All right. Thanks a lot for having me on, Dawn. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. And thank you to our listeners out there today. Thank you for being here. I wouldn't have a show if it weren't for you. And don't forget to check out The Little Drummer Girl with Dawn Marie Mutel at YouTube. The link is below in the show notes. And please, if you like the show, please subscribe and share it with your friends. We're also on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud. And remember, it's never too late. Begin to live the life of your dreams and leave the trail blazing behind you. Rock on and rock out, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Namaste.